Okay, we'll call the meeting to order. Stand for a moment of silent prayer, and then we'll go into the Pledge of Allegiance. God bless America. All right, how about Mr. Mahalik, you lead us with the pledge, huh?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we're going to do a manual roll call. So we got 2, 4, 6, 8. 2, 4, 6, 8 over here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Plus yours truly. So 19, right?
Correct.
All right. So we have a quorum. That's our roll call. The affidavit postings. Notice of the meeting. It's the meeting of the Washington County Board of Supervisors. I don't even know if I'm on. Prior to the meeting, public notice was given by posting a copy of the agenda in the office of the county clerk and emailing the agenda to the West Bend Daily News, which is the official newspaper. In addition, the agenda was emailed to CNI Newspaper, Express News, Kewaskum Statesman, Milwaukee Journal, WIBD, WMBZ Radio, and WTKM Radio. The above action is in conformity with the state of Wisconsin open meeting law. Okay. One big thing on the agenda, and I want to thank everybody for attending. This was not planned, it came up. We wanted to be safe to make sure we did this according to the rules and to make sure that there were no conflicts going forward with the timing of this ordinance. So I want to thank everybody for taking time out of their day and coming to this special meeting. So we have before you this 2017 Ordinance 43. At this point in time, I guess I'd ask if we could have a motion from the floor, introduced by Mr. Wallowa, seconded by Mr. Gonring. Any comments with it? Basically, maybe explain what we're doing here.
Yes, so this is the ordinance that we passed that will set the compensation, in this case for clerk of courts and sheriff for the upcoming term, which of course they are up for election. And I want to again also reiterate my thanks to the board for getting together today on short notice. When we did the research on this particular ordinance and the timing of it, the regularly scheduled county board meeting, which would be April 17th, would have fallen one day past the deadline to pass this particular ordinance. And so we did a little research upstairs, some legal research, and wanted to consider if we had any options that maybe we could pass this thing beyond the date, if there was some wiggle room, and we determined there really wasn't. And so to be on the safe side, we thought it'd be best to come forward and have this ordinance passed today. The ramification for not doing it was potentially these salaries could have been invalidated at some point down the road should somebody have chosen to challenge the ordinance. So that's the basis, and I again appreciate your time and your sacrifice for being here this morning. But this is a fairly routine ordinance that gets passed when we're setting the salary of elected officials.
Chris?
I am going to abstain from this vote today. I did train and mentor the current clerk of courts, and I just wanted to avoid any misperceptions that could occur.
Okay, duly noted. Mr. Miller?
Yeah, Mark, why are we giving the sheriffs 3% and the clerk of courts 2%? Would it not be fair to give everybody the 2, or is there a deficit in the amount of pay the sheriff takes? Because we're setting a precedent, we're saying 3% for this department, and when we come to negotiations with the sheriff's department, are we setting a 3%?
So, any negotiation has nothing to do with the elected officials, in my opinion. I guess everybody can have their own opinion on how they look at that, but the elected officials are completely separate, in my opinion. As far as the percentage, this was proposed. Do you have any?
My understanding was that Josh had, and one of the reasons why this came a little bit later than usual is because Josh was looking for comparable salary rates, and it took some time to gather that data. So I believe it's based on what is paid for comparable positions in the area.
Okay, and then what percent do we need to approve this? Do we need 3/4?
It's a majority.
Majority.
It's a simple majority of present?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Thanks.
Marilyn?
I just wanted to say, I guess we're not on.
Yeah, you are, no, actually, I did hit it.
Oh,
I think it
okay.
was. Yep.
I just wanted to say that this was done the last time also as a catch-up. They looked at the various counties, and the clerk of courts and the sheriff were different at that time also for 1 year.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? So what we're gonna do is gonna do a vote by hands. If you could raise your hands fairly high so we can all do it for Linda, so we're gonna do it this way, old school, no two hands, no Mr. Miller. It may work in West Bend, but it's not gonna work here. One. So, all those in favor say aye by raising your right hand. Aye. I don't see anybody that's had their left hand up or not hand up, so thank you very much, and we have a note of Ms. Dice abstaining, so it passes. Okay, before I go to the next meeting date, I want to mention too that Pete Sorcy had called, so he's excused, and we also have Dawn.
Quite a few others.
Yeah, so they're excused, so I didn't mention that earlier, but there's a bunch of supervisors that had called with the short notice here that are excused as well. So the next meeting is April 17th at 7:30 a.m. And the next one is for an adjournment. I could use a motion from the floor from the mayor. Second by Mr. Hartwig. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much.